everybody. Okay, so before we get into this one, this was edited and done, and then my computer froze. So, but in the meantime, before it froze, I was deleting some stuff because it was already exporting. I was like, okay, we're good. I can clear the SD cards. We'll be fine. Well, then the computer froze, and then I lost the entire podcast because I had deleted the previous footage, and so I had to go back in and get a bunch of stuff. So there's like 2 clips where you guys will not see my face. But all the audio's there. Autumn's face is in there. David's face is in there. My face eventually is in there. It's all screwed up. But podcast is mainly for listening, not really watching. So I'm not too worried about it. So we're still going to post it and we're still going to go on with it. So other than that, let's get right into the video, guys. Hope you guys like it. Our first official guest, Autumn Schwalbe. So other than that, get into it. David, are we live?
I think we are.
Are we live?
I think we are.
Everybody, welcome back to the Young and Boosted podcast. Well, actually, that's wrong. Welcome back to the At the Stripe podcast presented by Young and Boosted. My name is Sam. That is David over there. Bringing you episode number... I think this episode number 3, but I'm not sure which one I'm going to post yet. I don't know. 4, baby. Episode number 4. Anyway, so we're bringing on our first official guest today. Hopefully we don't scare any other potential guest with...
I'm sure we will.
Probably will. But, you'll have that on these big jobs. I got to get the cowbell out for that.
Oh, yeah.
It's all right. No big deal. Anyways, before we get into this, as always... Viewer discretion is advised. We're going to talk how we normally talk in our everyday lives on this. We're not going to hold anything back. We're going to tell you how it is. I don't want you little ones watching this, and then they say, hey, Sam and David from Young and Boosted taught me how to say fuck. We didn't, but they might hear fuck and then repeat fuck back to you. So I don't really want that, it weighs heavy on my conscience. So, yeah. Other than that, let's get right into it. David, how are you feeling today?
Feeling good.
Feeling good. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, good enough.
Yeah.
I didn't work yesterday, but
that's
spent
nice.
my day in a classroom.
Nice.
A welding booth, so that was great.
Nice. I worked yesterday.
Nice.
Okay, good old 10-hour day.
Very nice.
And I believe that is there like some drama going on this week in the no prep world?
I don't think it's like worthwhile conversation drama. It's Kentucky drama, so.
Oh, it's still okay to talk about it because
but we don't
a lot of people from no prep racing.
We don't have the solid points on it. My fishing adventure didn't quite go as planned.
We might have to call into somebody, try and get some info out of them.
Ring.
There were a couple of wrecks yesterday in the no prep world that we will talk about later on. Very sucks to see.
Yeah,
but
sucks.
I think what we're gonna do first, we're gonna bring our guest on, and then we can finally learn how to say her last name because I think it's Schwalbe.
I've got mine locked in.
David's locked in on how you're supposed to say her last name. I don't know. Should we bet on this? You want to bet?
I'll do 5.
5?
I'll do 5.
Bet 5. All right, so we're betting 5 on how you actually said it. Bet 1,000 right now, buddy. Bet 1,000. Betting $5 on how to say her last name. All right, so we're gonna bring on our first official guest, Autumn Schwalbe. David, how do you think you say her last name?
I thought it was Schwalbe.
Okay, we're gonna learn here in a second. But anyways, works for Ford Performance, drag racer, does a bunch of cool shit with Ford vehicles. I prefer Chevy, but it's no big deal. Whatever. Oh, yeah, David flexing over there. Big Ford guy. Anyways, please help us welcome Autumn to the podcast. Autumn, how are you doing? Tell us how to say your last name before we go any further.
The fact that you were betting on my last name is so funny because my whole freaking life, people have never known how to say my last name. It's Schwalbe.
Boom, baby. Pay up that 5.
God damn it.
Pay up that 5.
It's like I've had nicknames where people say Schwab. I've had nicknames where people say like Schwabby B. I don't even know. Like these random nicknames come about. So it's hilarious that you guys were betting money. So
Did you watch the first podcast we did?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
No, you're fine. But towards the end of the podcast, me and David were arguing on how to say her last name.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's pretty good. Anyways, Autumn, welcome to the podcast. Great to have you here. So excited to have you here. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Growing up, how'd you get into racing? How'd you get into cars, really?
all that. Where'd you grow up? Yada, yada. Tell us. And by the way, we don't know how to interview people, so we're just going to wing it. So hopefully you're up for the challenge.
Yeah, like the good thing is like we're friends, so we can just like ramble and talk because I will ramble and talk all day long. So I love it. But yeah, so I love this. I love that you guys are doing podcasts. I love that I can be one of your guests. So
First official guest too. First official guest. First official guest.
first official. Oh my God, I'm so honored.
Yeah. Yep. First official guest. So when we look back on this in 20 years,
Do I get a cool plaque? Like, what do I get?
we'll send one of those, $2 replica trophies you can get off of Amazon. I'll send that to you as a gift.
The little like your like participation.
Yes,
Like,
Participation.
Send a little medal.
Yeah, medal, or I'll just get you like the little ribbon you used to get on like your elementary school field day.
Yeah.
I'll just send you one of those.
I feel like all guests should get one then. Be like, you're great.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Anywho, back to who am I? So
Yes.
I am Autumn. I grew up in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Born and raised in Michigan, so very close to the big three, Motor City. Grew up around cars my entire life. I am 25 years old. I got into cars at a super young age. My parents were both big, drag racers when they were young. My grandpa owned a semi-truck company. My grandpa was a Chevy guy. Sam, you would like him. He is no longer with us, but like he had a collection of Corvettes. He had semi-trucks, you name it. He had El Caminos up the wazoo. Like he had like a graveyard of Chevys. He loved them. But then I turned out to be a Ford girl, which is hilarious. So, it is what it is. But yeah, so my parents were both, they met at a very young age around cars. They both drag raced together. They had a lot of friends, just at the local track here in Michigan. We have Mile and Dragway. And my parents would go all the time. And then I grew up like going to the track. And I just always knew I wanted to be around cars. Like I always had Hot Wheels over Barbie dolls. And I always felt like a little different. Like there were all these girls that were like doing dance classes. And I was like going to the drag strip on a weekend. Like that was how I grew up.
But it's the same with my sister.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Granted, she would play with Barbies, but she would come out in the barn with me and my dad, and she'd get all dirty, and then she'd go inside, clean up, and then play with her Barbies. That's just how it was. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she could do both. She could be the tomboy, or she could be the pretty girl, I guess you could say.
Yeah, exactly. Like I remember like my snowmobile suit, like my very first snowmobile, I was like 3 years old and it was hot pink, but I was going out there and I would build like a little snow jump and I was just like always in like, I would balance it out. Like I would wear like a skirt on my four-wheeler. I'm like, what am I doing as a kid? Like I was wild. Like that's just how it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just always grew up around like the motorsports, always grew up around drag racing. My dad was always kind of like that fix-it guy in the garage. He would always say, hey, you want to come out and just like sit out here, wrench with me, whatever. So my dad was always like my teacher, taught me like the basics and whatnot. And like my parents, I love telling the story. It's like when I was learning how to drive, like, I mean, the first time I drove a car, I was probably like 9 or 10. Like I was super young, but like they were like, you're going to learn how to drive a manual. If you're going to drive a car, you're going to drive a car. And I was like, okay.
Yep.
So like I remember going down the back roads, like driving a manual, and I was like, not even a teenager yet, but that's just like how I grew up, and that was my normal. But yeah, and then when I got into like my teenage years, that's actually when I started drag racing. It's so funny because my parents really wanted me to do like junior dragsters. Yep. And at the time when you're a kid, like you don't really know everything. Like I was like a junior dragster, like I don't even know what that is. And like I told them no. And now I look back, I'm like, why did I say no? I was so mad. But it's okay.
Why did I say no to that?
I don't know. I don't know why I said no because I like cars.
The crazy part about that is if you would have raced juniors, we probably would have known each other from a younger age. Because I did juniors started when I was 8 up until I was like 14, and we went to like the Eastern Conference Finals, the JEG shootouts that they had. Like we went all over when I was doing junior. Yeah, so. We probably, if you would have done it, there probably would have been a chance that we would have known each other like through the years.
Crazy. I know. Because I mean, being Midwest too, it's like
everybody know everybody.
Everybody knows everybody, even if you're like a state over. But Yeah, that's crazy. Like, I don't know why I was crazy as a kid. I told them no, but hey, anyways, it all happens for a reason. It's all good.
Yep, I agree.
The very first time I started like racing, though, my parents bought me a '93 Foxbody Mustang when I was 15, turning 16, and that's the car that I took to the drag strip. I learned how to drive in. I drove to high school. I won my local high school nationals here in Michigan. I competed in like Ohio for their high school nationals, things like that. I just loved it. I did bracket racing with it. I did really well. It was a great like intro car. And the great thing is I still own it. So it's like one of those things that I will never get rid of.
That's awesome. I love to hear it.
Yeah. I definitely don't drive it as much as I should, but like the fact that it's like my baby, like I'm actually really excited. I have a lot of like things cooking up for it just to get it like back on the road, drive it more, feel more comfortable. So that's a whole nother, I could talk all day on that car, but that's kind of how I got into it. And then, how do I like, I guess I could like talk about Ford.
So you were racing. Then what happened, I guess, after you graduated high school? Let's go there.
Oh my God. Okay. So let me, like, it's been a roller coaster, honestly. And it's been like full speed ahead ever since I graduated high school. So when I was graduating high school, being in Michigan, there's a lot of automotive companies, including like Roush Performance. And it's funny, I knew the marketing manager at Roush. So I, graduated I graduated high school and I was planning to go to college in the fall, but I met like Roush Performance and they were like, "Hey, do you have an internship? We would love to have you. This was a great like job opportunity." And I was like, "Absolutely. Like that sounds great." So I was like, "Well, I need to get to school. I need to be like, settled in, but we'll talk soon about the internship." So kind of like locked in an internship even before I started day one in college. So I was like, this is sick. Like most people don't do this, especially females, Yeah. And so I go to school. I went to a university in Midland, Michigan. It's about 2 hours north, literally in the middle of Michigan. It's called Northwood University, and they have a like degree in automotive aftermarket marketing and management. That was my degree. Like that is a mouthful, but it's real.
Yeah.
Cool. So I knew like, being around cars, being around racing, like I knew I wanted a career in the automotive aftermarket industry. And so my friend like introduced me to Northwood. We went to a school tour. He was like, "You will love it. Like, it's great." So I was like, "Okay, sure, whatever." Like, I didn't really know what I was going to do, but I was like, "Hey, Roush wants me. That might be an opportunity." So fast forward, I get to my freshman year and I met like the right people at the right time. The cool thing about Northwood is they have this like on-site, like on-campus auto show, kind of like, an auto show that you'd go to, downtown Detroit or, I don't know, big cities. Like they do these big auto shows and whatnot, like student run auto show on campus. And I was like, what the heck? Like, this is crazy. All these students are driving literally from like a Ford Focus to a Lamborghini. Like we had all sorts of makes and models on campus. So let me fast forward. I'm standing there, I joined the team Ford as a student and I meet people at work at Ford Motor Company. I'm doing a walk around on vehicles, just doing my thing, talking to customers. Cause I mean, we have people come to the campus to like go to the auto show and I'm talking to people doing walk arounds and Ford was like, "Oh my gosh, like she's awesome. Like, here's my card. What are you doing this summer?" And I told them like, "Hey, I actually have a job at Roush." They're like, "Oh, no. No. And so it was crazy. A few weeks later, like they sent somebody up to my school from Dearborn to interview me. It was like the craziest process ever. They loved me. They were instantly like, "We don't know what your job's going to be, but we're going to make it happen." So that like moment changed my life. Like I was like, what? Like I met all the right people, like it was like my path has been so unique.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, ever since like that freshman year, meeting those people, then my sophomore year, I ended up not going with Roush. I went with Ford. I worked at an agency that was a marketing agency that was only Ford Performance focused. And I got to work with the Ford Performance parts, tech line, info center. I was answering phones, making coffee. Like I was a full on intern, but I was loving it because I was around race cars. I was around the parts. I was around the warehouse. I was around, events and being a product specialist. And it was so crazy because I'm like, 18 turning 19 at this time. And all my coworkers are a lot older and they were just like, "Oh, send Autumn to Iowa for this event." And they would. They'd just be like, they literally did. And then there was one time they were like, hey, the brand new Mustang's coming out. Take it to Canada to this event. And like, they would just send me to these shows because they knew they could trust me because I had my drag racing, they knew I could drive. Like they knew that I was responsible. Like the craziest part of being like young and working in corporate was like, not many people knew how to drive a manual. And I mentioned my parents were like, hey, you're going to drive a manual. I can remember that like one day I was like sitting at my desk doing my thing and they were like, hey, we have a car that needs to go to a photo shoot. And I didn't know what it was. I thought maybe a Raptor or something. No, brand new GT350. They just came out at this time. So they were like, hey, go drive this car to this photo shoot. And I'm like, never drove one before. Like, what? But it was super cool because like I like built that trust very quickly. But then fast forward. So I went back to school for my second year. Obviously things went great. They invited me back. Then I got to work on a summer internship in NASCAR, going to NASCAR events, doing like, I was an intern though. I was, shoving like the credentials in the little pockets for the lanyards for like 1,000 people. Like I was doing internship work, but I was also like driving vehicles around and being a product specialist. And
it doesn't really matter if you're doing internship stuff when you're around something that you love. I guess you could say it doesn't matter the title as long as you're doing something and you're around something that you love and you love what you're doing. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And the thing is like that work is just like busy work. Cause then you're like, you get it done faster to get to like the next thing. And that's what I always did. It was so much fun. And then obviously that internship went well, went back to school, come back for another internship. And then this one was actually directly at Ford. And this was so freaking cool. It was the summer between my junior and senior year at college. It was on the Ford GT program. And I got to do so many fun things with Ford GTs, from like working with owners, going to events like Barrett Jackson, going to these large auto shows and being like the representation of the Ford GT, like the supercar for Ford Motor Company. Cool. Crazy. Like from 05, 06, the second generation to the newest, greatest one. Like I got to be around them. I got to help out with them. Like it was super cool. And then that obviously went really well. And then when I graduated college in 2020, I was supposed to start my job at Ford, but with COVID and whatnot, I had to postpone it. But that's when I got my full-time gig as, I guess a big girl job. And that's when I started full-time at Ford Performance. So I guess now, we're looking at my first job at Ford was the Ford Performance Motorsports team, working on global marketing. I was managing, off-road events, electrification demonstrators like our Cobra Jet, and our Mach E 1400, those electric demonstrators I'm sure you guys have seen online, but they're like crazy all electric versions of what we have. And they're like full blown race cars. So I got to work with those, and I got to work with all these different influencers and race car drivers. And I was like, this is so sick. Like, I love it. Yeah. Sadly, the thing with Ford is I signed up for a rotation program. So it didn't last super long. So I rotated into a new role. It was kind of like hey, you're doing too good at this job. We want to rotate you around to build your resume. And we want you to see other parts of Ford because it's not just Ford Performance. And I was like, okay, fine. Yeah. My second job at Ford, I worked on the marketing communications team where I did new vehicle reveals and launches. So one big reveal that I got to be a part of was like the Mustang S650 reveal that I actually had my very first Foxbody a part of in downtown Detroit.
Yes, I do remember that, you posting about that. I do remember seeing that.
Yeah. So I got to help with like the reveals and the photo shoots and like all those little things that like led up to the reveal. And then I actually got to talk on stage with like, Ford corporate, like CEO and everybody. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like I got to be on stage introducing like, this is the next Mustang. And like, that's my thing. Like, I absolutely love that. But then some other cars I got to like help out with was like Bronco Heritage Edition, the Raptor R, the new Super Duty, the new Ranger, like things like that I got to work on as well. Not as cool as Mustang, but still super fun. And then that obviously we had to rotate again soon. And so now I'm in my final rotation on the Ford Performance Parts team, where I'm working on chassis and wheel development for Ford Performance parts, from their catalog to future products to packages, things like that. So I travel the country again, doing events, being a product specialist, working with vehicles, launching products, doing marketing, working with influencers again. So a lot of what I've done has all kind of like grouped together for this job. And then again, it's not going to last forever too, because I'll probably rotate in probably a year or so. So the great thing is I've gotten a lot of experience. That's kind of my forward path. It's been so different than everybody else, but I love what I do.
That's cool. So you're basically you're seeing all sides of Ford, and then so when you get done with this rotation, do you get to pick what department you want to work for, or do you have to or do they decide for you where the best fit for you would be at?
The nice thing is Ford is like, they will recommend like, hey, you've had this role, maybe we should look at this because it's so different. But they don't. The nice thing is I've heard both ways. Like some people get told where they go, some people get to pick where they go. The nice thing with me, I've been able to very vocally say kind of where I want to be, kind of where I don't want to be. Because I know I always like to be customer facing. I love to be at events, at shows, very, communicative with the customers because that's just like my passion. I love to educate. And so to be behind like a computer screen, not traveling, I would probably lose my mind. So, at Ford, it's like, it depends on the person and it depends on what jobs are open also.
That's cool. Cool. Hell yeah. So then I guess now we can talk about kind of what type. Yeah, we can kind of talk about like your car. Well, first we'll do this. First we'll take like a little bit of a break so I can figure out my SD cards, and then we'll come back and then we'll talk. We'll get into the racing part of it. All right, Autumn. Let's talk about racing because you had a very nice white Foxbody that's one of the reasons that
It's not white.
What was it?
It was gray.
Was it gray?
Mm-hmm.
Was it really? I thought it was white.
Smoke gray. It's a factory color that's super light.
Oh, it's a super light gray. Okay. I thought it was white. That's my mistake. But
it looks super white in pictures and videos. Like the camera, like your phone, it sucks. But like a
why I
professional
thought it was
camera, yeah. But no, continue. You're good.
that's okay. Sorry. That's my mistake. But that was like one of the whole reasons that I even started following you a couple years ago, because I was like, that's cool, and that's a girl drag racing, so that's pretty cool. So, but do you only do prep racing? Do you do no prep racing? Would you ever want to do no prep racing? How did you get the car? Like, what point was the car at before you like progressed? All that.
Yeah. So from my perspective, I've only done prepped racing. No prep. I've attended the events here in Michigan. They seem so effing sketchy. Like I will stand far away and watch and cheer everybody on. Yep. I will be there. I love it. But for me to race, I don't know about it. You know what I mean? But then again, never tried. So who knows? Maybe I could try in the future. But yeah, so I when you started following me, I had a 1989 hatchback Foxbody, smoke gray, factory color.
Not white, guys. It's not white, okay?
That way. And I bought it when I was in college because, like I mentioned before, I went to school for a marketing degree in automotive. And while I was in college, I was like, wow, I think I could be a really good businesswoman and use my skills I learned in my marketing classes to get sponsors. And that's kind of how I connected it. And my dad, when I came home, I think it was like winter break, and I said, Dad, I want my original Foxbody that I got when I was 15. I want that to stay stock. I don't want to race anymore. I really want to have a race car. He was like, oh God. Like my dad was like, what are we getting into? Bless his heart. I mean, seriously, like he was like, oh God, because I'm a dreamer. Like if I think of something, I'm writing down ideas. I'm constantly like, what can I do? And how can I be the best at whatever I want to do? So yeah, like the journey started my junior year in college. I was on the hunt for a car. I looked at probably 10 to 15 cars in my local area that, they had cages, they didn't have cages, but they were rust buckets. Like I could weld better than these cars. And then finally it was like a friend of a friend said, hey, this guy in nearby has this car. It's not listed for sale, but if you go ask him, he might sell it to you. So that's kind of how I found this car. Okay. And it was a race car its whole life. It was like, I didn't find out until I took it racing and like took it around the country. But like people came up to me and they were like, I have a magazine where this car was on the cover. And I was like, huh? Like this car had a lot of history. Like it was like really crazy. And like I don't know, it's just like a really small world in racing of like who owns certain cars, and like they owned it, you know, 20 years ago and they forgot about it, and then they like I remember I had the guy, the original person that put the cage in it, he called me and was like, oh, that's my car. And then the guy that did the mini tubs called me and was like, oh, that was my car. And then like the guy that added more cage called me and was like, oh, that was my car. And like so I know of like 3 or 4 owners from that car. But anywho, it was super cool. It was really like the first drag racing, like full on, like I had a 25.5 cage. It was already mini tubbed. I really had no plan, but I was like, I'm going to throw a Coyote in it. I originally put a C4 in it. I was like, I'm just going to have a Coyote stock car, not run Coyote stock, the class, but like just keep it stock, bracket race it, and it'll be super fun. No, that didn't last long. I think that lasted for 1 summer just to get comfortable. You know, because it was the first time in a cage. It was the first time driving a car with very little dash. You know, it had, you know, very race car feel. And I was like, I was getting used to it. And it was probably a few months after my first few times on the track, I started getting sponsorships, and I was getting very well known in drag racing in my local area. Like my very first sponsor that came on board was Weld Wheels, and they are still one of my sponsors, and they treat me like family. I absolutely love them. And they believed in me, and they still do. So that's super freaking cool. But yeah, so did a stock Coyote. It was a Gen 2 and like had the Ford Performance computer system. Then I instantly like upgraded to a Hall Tech. Like Hall Tech came on board, and then Whipple comes on board, and here's a 3-liter, you know, Gen 5 brand new supercharger coming on with a Cobra Jet lid, and I'm like, oh my god, like this is wild. So I was going like 13 seconds, then I got it down to 12 seconds, and then we're gonna jump to 10, and then we went like 9 seconds with this, you know, Whipple powered Coyote, blowing transmissions left and right because I didn't switch to a Turbo 400 until I learned my lesson. And you know how it is. And I was racing the NMRA series. I was doing the class called Module Muscle, so it has to be a mod motor, and it's basically an index class, which index racing is very similar to bracket racing. But I was racing like the granddaughter of Jack Roush. I was racing, you know, these old timers that had been in drag racing their whole lives, that have a perfect light. You qualify off the reaction time, and then you dial in, and you have to like, you know, get your dial in. I'm driving thinking my 032 light is great. I'm at the bottom of the list, and they're getting 001, 002, and I'm like, my 030 is not that bad. You know what I mean?
That's really good.
But you know, that's what I thought. But I that class was a really good class for me to get into NMRA racing because I got to learn a lot, and it challenged me to get the best light possible. So now going to heads up racing, I have a better reaction than most heads up racers because they don't have to qualify off of reaction time. You know what I mean? They just go whenever they feel like it, and then they hit their scramble or whatever. So fast forward. So I've been racing NMRA for a few years. Had my car, did the mod muscle class, and then this class called 860 came about, and it was perfect because my car was super low boost, and we were like, okay, let's go 8s. Like, why not? So I started doing the 860 class and absolutely killed it. I was on my dial-in. It was really great to start the class. I had to change a few things about my car, but overall, like I really got to design, you know, the stickers. I got to, you know, really get involved in like the engine build and, you know, everything from, you know, the prep to get the car to the track, and then at the track, like I was really a part of it with my dad, my boyfriend, you know, everybody. It was all hands on deck for my family, and I had so much fun doing that. But as you guys know, sadly, I no longer have that car.
Yeah. So talk about that. What happened, I guess, in the aspect of like what track were you racing at? Were you like doing NMRA? Because I remember hopping on Instagram and I saw the what was it? It was the video of it on the back of the track's rollback, and I was like, no fucking way. Because I think that morning you posted a reel of you doing a burnout, making a qualifier maybe, and I was like, did this just fucking happen or?
I know, right? It all happened so quick. It's crazy. I mean, before I talk about the accident, it was like I was doing so well. Like it was the second race of the year, this year. So I just finished off the Orlando NMRA race, made it to the semifinals, killed it, should have went to the next round, but literally I broke out. You know, breaking out of 860 sucks. Like you're like so close and you're like, come on, like that sucks. And, so like I came, you know, just got done with that race. Had a fresh new shifter in my car. We made it down to North Carolina. It was Rockingham Dragway. And it was day one. We were, you know, getting the car ready. We just parked, you know, just got to the track and, you know, we're just like waiting to be called up for testing because it was like test and tune day before the actual qualifying, eliminations, anything. And, I can, you know, I remembered posting like, I'm so excited. Like I posted a video, like so ready to kill it this weekend. Like I felt so good coming out of Orlando. Like this is my year. This is going to be like the best year ever drag racing. Yeah. And it was April 14th of this year. And they call us up. I get ready. I get in the car. And I remember it was like so odd because I remember driving up to the staging lanes and I had this weird feeling like something wasn't right. And I said something to my dad, like, something doesn't feel right. And he's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And I was like, I don't know. It's probably nothing. You know, just kind of like, it's been a month since I drove the car. It's fine. And, you know, I get strapped in. My dad, my uncle, you know, they're getting me in the car. And my boyfriend, like, just got there because he flew in separately. So, like, just got to the track. I'm about to make my first test hit of the day. So, cars are going down the track. Everything's going good. The track looks good. Everything's good. Do the burnout. Good. Go down the track. I get to A to B. Good. It's right as, you know, you come past the scoreboards, you know, the finish line. I, you know, do the normal. I pump the brakes and I instantly feel like, you know, you're on the driver's side. I feel something on the driver's side. And then it just instantly pulls me to the right. And it happens so quick. And I mean, like we talked about, like I'm a true believer and like everything happens for a reason. And like, I don't remember everything because I actually passed out. As soon as I felt the car tip, like I believe I had a guardian angel there. Like, I don't know if it was like my grandparents, my grandma, whoever it was, but like my eyes, like I remember like seeing white. And then I woke up and I was upright in my car. Obviously no glass, no nothing, no fire. I instantly shut the car off. Like that's like, you know, your habit is to like, do your thing. I get, you know, unbuckled and I see the fire truck coming towards me and there's like no one else around me. And I'm like, how do I get out? I can't open my door. I'm like, what in the world? I'm like heavy breathing. You know, I got my helmet on, I got everything on. I'm just like, what? Oh my God. Oh my God. And so I'm like getting up and like, I see this, you know, large man pulling me out of my, you know, front windshield and I'm getting pulled out because I can't get my door open. And they're like spraying my car with the fire extinguishers. Thankfully there's no fire, but they're just doing it precaution. And I'm just like, I can remember heavy breathing in my helmet and I'm just looking at my car and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And I can't even like comprehend. Everyone around me is talking to me and I'm just standing there like, and like I could, so one of the woman that was racing next to me, she's like, you know, trying to get my helmet off and like all the safety people are just like, they don't want to touch me because I'm a girl. So they're like, the woman that was racing next to me, she's like unzipping my, you know, my suit and just trying to like get me like kind of to calm down. And then I instantly am just like, oh my God. Oh my God. And I just remember just like squatting down next to my car. And I'm like, oh my God. And like, I wasn't hurt, but I was just in so much shock. Like I was in one piece. Yeah. Like, holy shit, you know, like
I just endured all that and went through that hole. And now I'm looking at my car. That's a mangled mess and I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me.
Like, I couldn't even I couldn't even believe it. Like, I was so thankful that I was okay, but I was like, holy shit. Like, I rolled 3 times at 160 miles per hour. It was right at the traps. Rockingham is a super long track. So everyone thinks that I slammed on my brakes and I did it to myself. Everyone says this about me. Everyone talks shit. They all have their own opinions. I literally tapped my brakes. I had no reason I needed to pull my parachute. The track is super long. Something literally broke on the right, or I'm sorry, the left side rear end broke, which caused me to quickly hard turn, one wheel locked up, the other wheel's going 160. Took me, thankfully I didn't hit the girl next to me, and rolled me. I actually landed on the side wall, and then I like fell off like the wall. Like I like rolled once, rolled onto the wall, and then rolled down, which is fucking nuts if you like think about it. But yeah, I mean, moral of the story is like something broke in the rear end. You never know what's gonna happen. And I had all the right safety gear. Like I had my helmet, my Hans, I had more cage than I needed. And I mean, I remember like, they're getting my car off the track, and I saw like the skid line, like the tire mark from the one wheel locking up. And like the track official like took video and took pictures of it. And he was like, Autumn, like, this was not your fault. Like your wheel locked up exactly like I explained. And I said, yes, like one wheel locked up. Like, I don't even know how to explain, like something broke in the rear end. And the thing is like, we open up the rear end and everything's broken. So there's no, like we open, we look at the car, we get it home, and like, we can't even diagnose like what actually happened. So it sucks that like everyone online always says like, oh, well, you can figure out what broke. Like, what do you mean? Did you see my shit? Like I rolled 3 times. Like it's not easy to like, diagnose a problem when there's so much broken around it, where it's like, it could be this, it could be that. And like, it's hard to say, but overall though, I am alive. I am well. I went, got back to my pit. People came over to me, and it sucks because like so many racers were just getting there for that first day of testing. Like people were just getting to Rockingham, pulling into the track. And like, that was the first thing people saw was my car on the trailer when they were pulling in with their rig. And they're just like, holy shit, what just happened? And like, even NMRA, like the guys that, are the firefighters, they were helping park people. Like they weren't even ready for an accident to happen. Thankfully, everything was okay. Like it could have been a lot worse. And, NMRA and Rockingham track officials, like they had, the right safety people and everything. And I was in the ambulance, and you guys know me, I could talk really fast. And they were asking me like, how do you spell your name? Like, give me your phone number, what's your address, just to like make sure I didn't hit my head. And I'm just, I'm just like, I'm sitting there like perfectly fine, just like speaking really fast. And like this poor man, this track official is just like, like, he's like, oh my God, am I there? Yeah. And he's like, okay, she's okay. And like, they checked my blood pressure. I'm okay. Like, I remember I was like, I think I'm bleeding. And they're just like, what, where? And I had like the tiniest little cut on my knee from getting pulled out of the car. And they were just like so in shock because they've had similar, NMRA has been around for a very long time. Obviously, drag racing has been around for a long time. These track officials, these people in drag racing have seen really crazy accidents. So like to see mine and to see me fully okay, they were just like, this does not happen. So like I had a guardian angel, I had something. So the thing is, I had a built car. I had everything that I needed plus more. And now it's cool because like, yes, I lost that car, but a lot of opportunities have come about, like preaching on social media that buy a Hans device, add more cage. Like I've had more people message me since my accident and said, hey, I bought a Hans because of you. Or, hey, my car's at the fab shop because I want to add a few more, bars in my cage.
More bars.
Exactly. Or like, hey, like I'm a no time racer. You know how those tracks are. They don't really do tech.
Yeah. Oh, you should see no prep races. There ain't no tech at no prep races. I've seen guys in 460 cars with t-shirt, shorts, and helmet on. Yeah, helmet undone too.
I get messages from these, no prep or, no time drivers that are like, hey, I don't have to tech, but like because of you, like your car, like you were okay. I want to be okay. Like I want to live a long time. I want to be able to tell my story like you are. And so that's been a really cool opportunity to preach about it and educate. And, sometimes I feel like I'm a broken record talking about it, but then again, it's like, I experienced something that racers think, oh, that's never going to happen to me. But it's like, it's not about it. Like, it's not about if it will ever happen. It's like when it will happen. You never know if something's going to break. You never know. You don't check a bolt or something. Like, I don't want to say anything, that we didn't check something, but like something obviously went wrong. We just overlooked it. And it was something probably super simple, but we'll never know because everything, happens for a reason.
Exactly.
But as you're advocating for, better safety for drivers because you experienced it. So it's not like you're a broken record. Just like, hey, like I experienced this and I know how bad it freaking sucks. So why don't you guys like take the necessary action to make sure that if you do go through something that I went through, you're going to be okay.
Yep. Exactly what I'm saying. It's,
Yep.
and you know, some people are stubborn because they're like, oh, I don't want to wear, you know, a Hans. That's uncomfortable.
Oh, it sounds like David.
You know, with going to NHRA tracks and, you know, IHRA, like they have changed some rules for certain cars for like different cages or the neck braces. You can't have like that donut brace anymore. They're taking that away. So like, thankfully there's changes happening that are like official changes that are forcing people to take those actions. So I'm able to talk about my experience and now I have the backup like, well, guess what? NHRA is making you do this. So if you're a licensed driver driving, you know, this fast or faster, you need a Hans. And like, yes, it's expensive, but like, it's worth it. Do you want a broken neck, a broken back, or do you want to be okay? You know, it's up to you. So I hate to be that harsh, but like people need that harsh reality that like, look at my Instagram, look at that video. Like I lost my whole car.
Yeah.
And
Lost everything I ever worked for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, the nice thing is though, like with losing that car, like I've had sponsors that are like, we are here for you. We are ready to, you know, when you're ever getting back into a car, when you need time, like you call us and we're here for you, your family. So definitely gained sponsors because of it, because of my attitude, talking about things that people don't talk about. I've been able to, you know, gain a following a little bit more on it. And now I can just like educate, you know, the stubborn racers that won't change their ways. And now I get to, you know, educate the new up and coming racers that don't know what they're doing and they need someone to guide them. So like, that's been really cool to teach everybody of all ages and just be a voice.
Well, that's too, like, you see all these, yeah, exactly. And you see all these younger people getting into cars nowadays and they're starting out running faster than I've ever been in my life. And it's like, what the fuck? Like I started racing my first ever pass in my Monte Carlo. I was 16 and I went 12:42. And there's kids out there that are 16 and going like
430s.
Yeah, 430s. You know, 550s. I've been 574 in my Monte Carlo. I've never been a 550 before. So it's like, you know, like that's fucking crazy to me.
Exactly. And they're just jumping in these cars. They think I'm invincible, you know, nothing's going to happen to me. And it's like, oh, you're in a t-shirt, jeans, and some flip-flops. What are you doing? Like, you know, I hope they're not in flip-flops, but you know what I mean? It's like, come on. Like people need to be educated. People need to see what could happen. They need to hear what could happen to realize like, oh shit, like I got to change my ways. So yeah, I mean, that happened in April, but thankfully things are going really well for me. I was only in the hospital for a little bit. Got back from my accident and got back to Michigan from North Carolina with my family. It was rough. It was rough. It wasn't mental, or I'm sorry, it wasn't physical. It was more mental. You know, I had the bruising from my my seatbelts and everything, but like, you know, the mental thing was it was rough for me. But
yeah, it's hard to go jump back in. It's hard to be able to, I guess you could say, go through something like that and be able to be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go strap back in, you know, right now and go do like what I've been doing or go faster. It's like kudos to the people that can. Like, I think I could too. Like, I think if I ever to go through something like that, I think I'd be like, okay, well, now it's time to rebuild and let's go fucking racing again. But then again, you know, I don't know. I've never been through something like that. So it could happen to me. And I'd be like, well, I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I'm going to just hang out for a while before I do something else. But yeah, but now you have a new car, right? You're getting ready to unveil or I guess build and then debut it, right?
Yeah. So, you know, I had that same mentality of like, wow, this happened to me. What do I do? You know, like, it's April. The racing season just started. I had all these plans. I had so much going for me this year. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, do I build another car? Do I buy a car? Do I drive someone else's car? Like, what do I do? Because I mean, the nice thing was like, in this type of situation, I almost had too many options, like, which is cool, if that makes sense. Yeah. I did get the offer to drive one of my good friend Kevin's Mustangs, 11-second car. You know, he was like, "Hey, if you want to get back in it, it's a turnkey. You can drive it." I was like, "Heck yeah!" Like, I want to do a burnout again. I want to go down the track just to get those nerves out. Mm-hmm. When I tell you, I was so excited to drive that 11-second car. I had so much fun. I think that was the most fun I've ever had. Like, from having that, you know, full on drag car that I can't drive on the road to like driving that car, I was like, oh my God, like I got to go do a 30-mile cruise and then go back to the track and do the, you know, the true street event. And I was like, this is so sick. Like,
index racing is so cool.
Yeah, I know. Right. And, I just had so much fun. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to give up racing. I want to get back in it. And like that day helped me so much to like figure out, okay, what do I want to do? You know, I talked to family, I talked to friends. Yeah. And I decided, I was like, you know what? I want to buy another car similar to what I had. It won't be exactly the same, but I was like, you know what? It's fine. And so the car that I bought, it has a crazy story.
Hold on, Autumn, before you go into the car you bought, we'll take another break. I'll add this. I'm going to use the bathroom, and then we'll be go again. Okay, Autumn, talk to us about your new build that you're coming out with, this new Foxbody build, right? Is it still going to be super supercharger turbo, nitrous, pro mod? Oh, David said you're building a pro mod now?
No.
Oh, man. I don't know if we can have you on the podcast anymore. We can't have pro mod racers out here.
No pro mods.
No pro mods. We are not pro mod. I have never driven or owned a turbo car, and I decided to go twin turbos. So we're full sending it.
Well, welcome to the party. Well, I can't say welcome. David could say welcome to the party. Fuck off. Okay, motherfucker. I like my nitrous.
Friend is a turbo guy, and he's been trying to get me to be turbos or twin turbos for a while. And here we are. We're doing Garrett 62 millimeters, and it's going to be pretty crazy. So crazy thing on the car, though. So it's the same color, so really rare smoke gray that my old car was. My boyfriend bought this car to match my car. So kind of cute.
Oh, it's so... Okay, hold on. Before we go any further, tell everybody who your boyfriend is. Because I bet you 100% of the people, that when you say this, will know exactly like the company and everything because they've probably seen the ads.
All right. I'll give my shout out to my boyfriend. He needs some clout. So I am dating Chris Beluga, which is owner of Own Boss Supply Co., the giveaway company that gives away a truck, trailer, and piece of equipment. So it's the idea to be your own boss. You buy a t-shirt or anything from the website, and every dollar you spend gets you entered for their giveaway.
So pretty fucking cool. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So if you want to start doing, like excavator work or anything like that, or you want to put a pipe in the ground, you want to grade, whatever. Yeah. So pretty fucking cool.
Give out to Own Boss. Their next giveaway just started on Friday, and it is a brand new GMC dually with like a paint match trailer, paint match skid steer, all red, beautiful, insane, nice build. It's legit. I'm a Ford girl, but like GMC is pretty nice.
You ever entered one?
What'd you say?
Have you ever entered one?
Like one of the first ones when they first started. That was like I can't even remember what truck it was.
The very first one was a Dodge. The second one was a Chevy.
It might have been when they did the sand, like that desert tan.
The desert tan Ford. Yep.
I look back when we were talking. Mm-hmm. I entered in the fourth one. It was that black F-350 with the black goose and the black skid steer.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that one.
Guy took the money over the giveaway.
Did he?
You're fucking crazy.
That one was funny because he took the money over the giveaway because he lived in Maine and he was a fisherman. So he really didn't have a need for the equipment.
Fucking snow removal on the side.
What'd you say?
Do fucking snow removal on the side.
Yeah, he could have done that. Man, missed out on an opportunity.
Hey, everyone can be their own boss in their own way.
So. Still got that 350?
Yeah. Did you hear David?
Anywho, yes.
He said, "Oh, David, should we buy a F-350?"
I need one.
Yeah, we need one. Anyway, now you can. I'm sorry we literally just
code Autumn10 to get a discount at Own Boss Supply Co.
Oh, looks like me and David know what we're doing tonight.
The next one is even cooler, in my opinion.
Okay, well, we should wait because if for some reason David and I win off the one that was just announced, it might look a little rigged. So
I don't care.
David,
the one that will start beginning of 2024 is super cool. So you guys should enter for that one.
Hell yeah. Okay. All right. Now back to twin turbo pro mod.
Chris and Own Boss. But so Chris bought this car and he bought it. It had kind of a partial roll cage. He bought it and he was going to do no time racing, grudge racing, put like a 25.3 cage in it, rear end, started building the car. He was going to do a small block Chevy. He was doing a complete different build, but it was just going to match my car. And sadly, when the accident happened, I obviously lost my car, and he wasn't going to sell the car to anybody, but he said to me, hey, if I sell this car to anyone, I want it to be yours because it will remind me of you. Like, it reminds me of you, and I bought it for you, like, to match you. And he kind of still gives me crap because my license plate on my car was her Fox, and he was going to do his Fox. It's kind of cute. But
so cute. Just a couple things.
Fox. I'm like, I know, just a couple things, race car things. And he always says, he's like, that's still my car, kind of like deep down. He's like, I started the build. I'm like, okay, it's cool that he started it because now I'm taking over and like making it my own way. So like, obviously I'm not doing a Chevy. I'm doing a built Coyote. From the accident, I still had some engine components still okay. So got those cleaned up. Engine's being built as we speak right now. Holly has come on board, so they are really helping me a ton. I would not be able to get back into a car and build this car without Holly performance. From their, Dominator to their 12-inch dash to, wiring stuff to their fuel pump stuff, like everything you could imagine. I've said, Holly, what can you guys do to help me? And they're like, we're here to help. But what questions do you have from like the tech line side? I mean, you guys know, like you can call up and you will get help from somebody. So that's been really cool.
Big shout out to Holly from your big Holly guys over here at Young and Boosted, plus Autumn. Big shout out to Holly.
We love them. Love them. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without them.
Yep.
But yeah, so with this car, we're going to go back NMRA racing, get back into the 860 class. My goal is to do some true street. So true street is where you go for a cruise and then you make 3 consecutive passes down the track. You cannot add, certain things to the car like fuel, but like, it's to be consistent. You're racing yourself. So my goal is to have the like world record for the female true street.
Awesome.
Hopefully next year. I want to bust it by a landslide. You know what I mean? Like, I think that'd be super cool. It's like this comeback is pretty personal and I want to go out there with a bang and get some, world records.
Yeah.
So, from like True Street to, the 860, hopefully like going rounds for that. I also want to get into drag and drive. I'm building this car to be able to drive on the street, like way more than my other car. The reason my other car wasn't street legal, or it was street legal, but I didn't have a fuel cell that could get me down the road. I had a tiny fuel cell, and this new car has a larger fuel cell. So drag and drives are gonna be super, super crazy. But I'm also building it to be kind of a show car. It's beautiful underneath. It is a very, very nice chassis. So I have a really great team. Like, it's at the fab shop right now. He is taking a lot of time into my custom, exhaust and everything. He's really spending time on like the tedious little welds because I want it to, be a showstopper. It's hopefully going to be at SEMA. Hopefully it'll be at Pure Eye in the future. I don't know exactly when or what boost yet because we're still working those out, but
we should make that a goal for all 3 of us. We should all make it a goal that at Pure Eye next year, all 3 of us have our cars in the show.
That would be perfect. I think that'd be so sick.
That would be a cool thing. That's a goal. All 3 of us, cars at Pure Eye next year for sure. David, we'll get your car painted.
Yeah, we'll get it painted. We'll clean it. I'll help.
Oh, did you hear that?
A little bit.
You just can come out here and come to the shop and start spraying.
Hey, I've never done it before, so it might not be right.
Just don't be shocked when it's a rattle can.
Oh, I love that.
Be an improvement over what it is now.
Yeah. Awesome. I can't wait to see the car. That would be be pretty cool to see. Cool to see the True Street Pro mod coming out. And gonna put a hinder on David's plans, but hey, it's okay.
I mean, it's all right. I mean, True Street, there's a tough group out there. There's like stick shift guys and automatic guys that are going really quick in the quarter mile. So for me to come out and get like the best female time, I think it'd be cool. So
oh yeah, that'd be super cool. Hell yeah. And so okay, so then I'm gonna say it because when you wrecked the car, you weren't really able to do a whole bunch of racing, so you mainly just going to events. Like you said, you were just at SEMA and World Cup, and all three of us were all at Ford Fest together. You were working with Von Gittin and all them, so mainly just trying to go to events, still building your name, helping going to events Ford sends you to. So Ford sent you to SEMA, you went to World Cup on your own accord, and so at Ford Fest, how'd you get with? Because Ford Fest was first when all three of us were there. How were you there because Ford Performance sent you to help Von Gittin and RTR, or were you there because you drove that Mustang out there, that brand new white Mustang? Is that why they sent you, or?
So it's kind of like a weird thing where I wanted to race the Holly Ford Fest. Holly Ford Fest is like my favorite event that I will never miss. Like it's one of those things that you put on your calendar and you got to go. Mm-hmm. I had a good friend racing in the Renegade class, and he asked me like, hey, would you possibly be able to like come down and crew? My dad and my uncle were like, yeah, we're down to go down and crew. And originally Ford Performance was going to have their large trailer and display there. Sadly, plans changed where, things happen. We sadly did not get down there with the trailer. So Ford was going to send me, but I was like, you know what? I love this event so much. I really want to get down there. There's friends that, I only see at that event and that event only. So I'm like, you know what? I really want to go. And so I did drive a brand new 2024 Mustang down. That was a in-plate vehicle from Ford Performance. I got to show off our new wheels and, vehicle. And that was awesome. I got to park it right by the Holly booth. They had a new Mustang there. It was super cool to see like so many people's reactions because like this car is so new. A lot of people haven't seen it yet. Yep. But in addition to like going on my own with a Ford vehicle, RTR said, hey, what are you doing this weekend? And I was like, I'm going to be there already. So RTR has this cool thing that they're implementing to their customers is they're basically teaching them how to like, how to drive their cars. I know it sounds kind of weird, but like beginners out there, they never get to, try out their launch control. They never do a burnout. So RTR had myself and Billy Johnson. He's a pro driver in like road racing. Yeah. And then Von Gittin Jr. and Chelsea Denofa obviously were there. So they did ride-alongs and drifting. Billy did a one-on-one teaching on, autocross. And then they did an off-road event in some Broncos where they did ride-alongs. And then my job with RTR was to teach everyone kind of the basics of drag racing. So being at Ford Fest was really fun. They had a lot of, newbies out there with their brand new Mustangs. They haven't been on the track. Sadly, we didn't get to do the drag racing portion of the day because NMRA was a little behind in their actual like eliminations. But I got to sit down and talk to people, learn their stories. There were people from all over the country signed up for this RTR event. And from what I heard, it went really well. And RTR is hoping to do more of those at different events next year. So I think they were talking about doing it in Gainesville in February with NMRA, but I don't know exactly. But it was super cool because I'm working with Ford and working with Vaughn. Like I've known that group a really long time. So for them to ask me of all people to like teach people how to drag race, like I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, like I love to educate people from all different ages. So it was super cool that I got to stand up there with a whiteboard and just like talk about, the burnout box and then staging into the first beam. And then you push, go like the next beam and then how the lights come down. Like it was super cool to start from the basics. And, I got to answer so many questions and, all different years and makes and models of Ford Mustangs were, going to go down the track. It was really cool to sit down with people. So that's kind of like why I was there. And then also, Holly's our main sponsor. Another shout out to them. They were like, hey, let's do some content. So I got to do some fun stuff with them and see some friends. So
David was told that he had to be at Ford Fest. He wasn't allowed to miss Ford Fest. So that's why. Yeah. Steve said, "You're going to be at fucking Ford Fest." And David was like, "Yes, sir."
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Steve, too.
Yeah.
Thank you for dragging him out there. We had a lot of fun. That was a super good time.
I'm so glad you guys got to go because I obviously that was when we first met. So that was great to like meet you guys in person from being Facebook and online friends. It's just one of those fun events that you have to go. And like we talked about even LS Fest. Like, yes, I'm a Ford girl, but like I have gone to LS Fest. Well, maybe next year I'll come and see you guys at LS Fest and we'll hang out. And maybe I'm driving something different.
Maybe not. And we'll be at Ford Fest again next year. We'll be there and go down and have another good time because, I want to say we had a lot of fun at Ford Fest. That was good. And like I saw it when we first like officially met. I saw you in the burnout box. I was like, that looks like Autumn.
I know. I like looked at you. I came up. I was like, "Are you Sam?"
Yeah. Like yes, you're Autumn, right?
Yep. It was that instant. Like I know. It's like I know you. You know me.
Yep. Exactly. And then you went to SEMA too. So what'd you do out there for SEMA? Just more content stuff or?
Oh my gosh, SEMA was crazy. So I went with Ford Performance. We had a large display. So Ford is not fully back at SEMA, but we had a Ford Performance parts and accessories display in the West Hall, which those that know at SEMA, it's not the main central hall with like large companies. The West Hall is more like off-roading focused, a little bit smaller. And but it was awesome. I mean, people made their way to us because they were like, "Oh my God, Ford's here. I want to see the new stuff."
Yeah. Yep.
So from Tuesday through Friday, working the booth with a handful of other Ford employees, we were slammed the whole time. We revealed our new Mustang with a Whipple on it. It's called FP800S. We had some new parts out there. We had like some concept packages for SEMA. It was so fun. I barely get much free time when I'm out there for work, but when I did have some free time to walk around the show, I definitely made sure to go say hi to some sponsors. I actually got to be in a booth and signing autographs. Dynocom asked me like, "Hey, you want to like come to our booth?" So the craziest thing, have you guys met Weston Chaplin? They do, and I feel like you guys would all be really good friends. I had my autograph signing, and Weston was still there doing his, and he and I started chit chatting, and he was like, "You know what? Is it okay if I stay a little bit longer? You're super cool." And I was like, "Sure, why not?" Because I'm not as big as Weston, obviously. Like he has a huge channel, millions of followers, so it was really cool to meet him. And then people were like, "Oh, who are you?" And so that was really fun to just like tell my story, and Weston was listening, and he's just a really cool, genuine guy. His diesel turbo powered whatever Mustang thing that he has was in that booth. So people were just like flocking to us, and the booth was just crazy busy. But overall, like that was a great highlight for SEMA, was meeting him and getting, to know him. And he actually is building a Foxbody right now, and he wants to do a video. I don't know if it's either racing or doing something crazy with our builds once mine's done, but he was like, "Let's do something." So that was super fun. And then of course, SEMA's just walking around, seeing the Hoonigan burnout area. My best friend, Amanda Sorensen, was actually drifting and doing the Hoonigan show with her brother. They were drifting their BMWs. So I was over there supporting her, and gosh, it was just the craziest week. It was so much fun though. And like being there with Ford and doing all the Ford stuff was just so much fun because we weren't back. We were not like officially back, but it felt like, oh, Ford's back,
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. That's pretty cool. Are they going to be at PRI this year? Are they going to have a booth?
So I don't know yet. It's kind of like one of those weird things where they're still figuring out into year budgets. So I don't know.
Okay. Understandable. But
but I know I will. So I will for sure be at PRI. I know we talked a little bit before the show. We'll definitely be walking around. So anyone listening to this that sees us, say what's up.
We'll all be walking around together. So come up, say hi, hang out. So
I'm so excited just seeing companies, asking questions, learning about the new product. Like I am just so excited for PRI. It's definitely one of my favorite events of the year. I know I'm going to be crazy busy talking to companies, but I'm going to be like running around like crazy, walking around. So
yep. And that's how it always is. All 3 days, it's always craziness. So it was craziness whenever my car was there. I don't know, I felt like we never stopped moving around. It was absolutely crazy. And then last year we went and I felt like all we did was stand around and talk. So
The thing about PRI is like you can't make it like 5 feet or like an aisle without seeing somebody you know or seeing like a booth that you're like, what is that?
we didn't even see the whole show last year. We walked in and immediately we were talking to people, and there was like every time we moved, we were always, and I went all 3 days and I didn't even see the entire fucking show. So that's like, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
When you guys go to SEMA, you guys are going to be so overwhelmed. It's going to be so funny to see your reactions because like being at PRI and not seeing the whole show. Imagine being at SEMA, like you're not going to see a lick of it, you know?
Oh, David, we're
But yeah, I'm so looking forward to PRI. We're going to have so much fun.
Oh yeah, fun for sure. Like she said, if you guys see us walking around, stop, say hi. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of other people that will be with us hanging out. So I know the Team Meatball guys, they're coming up. They're actually staying with us, so we'll all be together all freaking weekend long.
Oh, do you have an Airbnb?
They are
Sam's house.
Yeah, Sam's house is Airbnb weekend.
Yeah.
I forget that you're so close. My bad.
Yeah. No, you're fine. Yeah, 30 minutes from the convention center. So.
Oh, that's so nice. Okay.
So Sam's house will be Airbnb for Meatball guys from Kentucky. So, yep, for sure. Awesome. Well, Autumn, it was great to have you on the show. Great to get to know you a little bit better than I guess you could say that we already knew about you. So really appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us. And I don't know. I don't think there's anything else really to cover. I think we've covered your whole life essentially.
Maybe not my whole life, but for sure a good amount. No, thank you guys for having me. I'm so excited that we got to do this. I feel like we could probably do 5 more of these. So if you ever need me back on, you can call me. For sure. So looking forward to it. But anyone listening, like I said, my name is Autumn Schwalbe and my handles are autumn.schwalbe on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook.
Yeah, so make sure you guys go follow her and all her handles. Like she said, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You don't have a YouTube channel, do you?
I'm starting one.
Oh boy.
I posted like 2 reels because the YouTube shorts.
Yeah.
That's all I've done.
Well, I'll tell you, have you started it? Have you already made it?
Well, actually no, I think so because I posted 2 reels, so I haven't made my intro video.
Okay. Well, send me your handle and I'll tag it in the description and in the title, and then people can click on it and subscribe and then wait for you to post your first video.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Yep. Well, cool, Autumn. Thank you again. Really appreciate it. Make sure you guys go follow her, and then hell, we could probably even do another podcast during PRI. We can come here after the
That'd
show.
actually be kind of fun.
You can bring Amanda. We can all hang out in here. And
we can talk all day.
Yeah, we can have
Chris.
Yeah, bring is Chris coming too?
He'll be racing.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Chris has his first big grudge race, $20,000 on the table already. So
love to hear it.
Love to hear it. So that's the thing. We'll be out racing. I don't know what classes he's gonna do until then, but yeah.
Well, if he wins his grudge race, what day is he doing his grudge race?
What day?
Yeah.
It's gonna be Friday of PRI, and he said he was gonna FaceTime me and call me as soon as the race is about to go down. So you guys will have to tune in with me.
Yes.
Because we'll be filming during PRI, so we'll have him FaceTime you before and have him FaceTime you after. That it's as long as he wins. Because if he loses, he probably wouldn't be too happy. But if he wins, have him FaceTime you again. We'll record it. That'd be pretty funny.
Oh, that would be so crazy. Because my reaction will be like, "Oh my god!"
Hell yeah! Now you can take me shopping when you get home.
Right. No, all that money is gonna go into a new trailer or some shit. I don't even know. It's never ending. You guys know.
A stacker for when you guys are both racing at the same time.
Listen,
Chris, I'm sorry if I'm incriminating you right now, but
the funny thing is, he doesn't even have a trailer right now. He's using my trailer.
Very nice.
Very nice. Love to hear it.
I'm just being honest. He's using the Schwalbe family trailer. He doesn't have a trailer. So It's all good. It's all good.
I put this whole stacker idea in your mind. Now he's gonna have to buy a stacker.
I would love to do a stacker, but it's also weird because he'll be racing at different things than me. But until my car is like dialed in, we're probably going to be going to the same testing, testing tunes, private track rentals. So I'm like, how the hell are we going to get there together?
Yep.
Like I don't know what we're going to do. And we have the same engine builder. We have the same tuner. Like we have all the same people. So I guess we're just going to have to. The nice thing is, okay, our engine builder and tuner, he has 2 cars. He has a Corvette, his brother, and then we have a Supra. And they have a stacker, so we might have to just coordinate with them, and then but it's all good. It's all good. Maybe he wins the lotto, and then I have a big rig semi with a big hauler. Maybe that's you got to dream big.
Yeah, exactly. Always dream big, guys. Always dream big.
That's my motto. Always shoot for the stars.
Yeah, of course, have to. All right, appreciate it, Autumn, once again. We'll see you at PRI. We'll keep in touch. I'll send you reels and stuff, or I'll invite you to be a collaborator on Instagram. And
okay,
cool.
I'm so down. Right. Don't make me look dumb.
I won't. I'm not like the one of you like yawning with one eye open and your tongue out and all that stuff.
That definitely won't be in the thumbnail.
that definitely won't make it into the video. Absolutely not. I'd never do that to you.
Oh no, I'm just kidding. That's funny. No, this has been fun. This is awesome.
I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad we finally got to do it. Awesome.
Love it.
Alrighty. We will catch you later.
All right, bye guys. See ya.
Yeah.
All right, that was pretty good.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
First official guest.
Yes, first official guest. Video calling in.
Yeah.
So, pretty cool. We were able to finally do that and bring on our first. Oh, Lord!
This table's falling apart over here.
Desk is falling apart, guys.
I have to renovate this thing.
We're gonna have to. Maybe we'll have to go get a new desk or something, David.
Might have to.
I feel like we need to paint in here. I feel like it's too bright for us. Or maybe just paint one wall.
Be cool to do like a hardwood background.
No, it would. David,
stick with me, bud.
Stick with me, bud. We'll go places. I brought a Racetronics banner to put in there.
Really?
Yeah, but I didn't hang it up. So, Elaine, if you're listening, don't fucking kill me.
Kill him.
Hell yeah. I mean, okay. So I guess now that the whole interview process is over.
Anything new with you?
No, not really. Just working, I guess. I'm gonna go. Today's Sunday. It's 3:30 right now. I'm gonna go home and throw the steering on the S10. Probably throw the center section in it.
Are you
I don't know yet. He hasn't texted me back yet.
I sent something in our little group chat in case you do.
Okay.
You can double up.
Yeah.
You'll see it.
Okay. I'll look at it.
I'm pretty sure we've talked about this one and it's coming back around.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, if he messages and brings the amount, gone. See ya. Bye.
I want someone to do that with my car.
But I also told him I told him that, I'm going to keep working on it, and if I don't hear anything for him before I get it wired, then I'm going to keep going with I was like, but if I wire it,
you're going to be paying.
Yeah, there's going to be more money added onto the price that I said. So, I'm not just going to wire it and be like, oh, yeah, same price. Nah, buddy. Now it's wired. I'm taking my Dominator, but it's wired, ready to go. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. If he buys it, he buys it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. There's no sweat off my back. So,
I kind of want to sell my car.
You know what I say we do? I say we sell your car, the S10, Monte Carlo, and let's buy an RVW car.
Until it was crashed, I really wanted to buy Jason X or something.
Dude, that car. That fucking kills me. That car was...
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
And he hit it just in the right fucking spot to...
Junk that body.
Yes, dude.
Because didn't it cave in the roof and shit?
Yes, dude. Oh. The most perfect spot to fuck your entire world up. Because when I saw the video, I'm like, it didn't look that bad.
I just saw the picture. I'm like, damn, you fucked that
Have you seen the video of it?
Yeah, it was at the 100-foot mark.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm like, that looked not bad at all, and it fucked that car up.
Dude, I'm sure he was beat up after that. Emotionally.
I mean, B-Rad's wreck. Did you see that?
I did not.
Dude, that fucking video, and I'll see if I can find it. I'll put it in here. Dude.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Really.
Like, the guy he was racing, I think his name's Jason Chandler or whatever. They both wrecked. But
What?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
What the fuck?
It's just a battery exhausted.
Are you fucking shitting me?
Hold on, guys.
Jesus, dude. Here, hold on. See, let me see. See if you can see the camera angle from where you're at and see if it's gonna work. Hang on. There we go. No, leave it. How's that?
Oh, that'll work.
Perfect. Anyways,
guys, sorry. But my phone is on like low battery percentage, so I'll
Okay.
wrap it up. But yeah, B-Rad's wreck, absolutely fucking insane. I don't know if like throttle got stuck, brakes went out or something, but when he went left, it looked like he did not slow down at all and hit the wall. Well, he had 10 broken ribs.
Oh shit.
Broken collarbone, broken tibia. I think he had a concussion.
Wow.
And I think he broke something else too.
I'll have to watch it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, dude, it was a bad wreck. And also, guys, Turbo John.
Dude. That sucks.
I know. It really does suck.
It's probably my like favorite.
YouTuber?
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a good guy too.
Yeah.
We've met. I think we've talked once.
I've never met him.
Super nice guy. Feel so fucking bad for him.
Dude, that fucking
I think
sucks.
honestly, looking at like he's got 2 cars.
He does?
With that red car, doesn't he?
No, that's his buddy's car.
Oh yeah, it is.
That's not his.
I thought that was his.
He's got the old car.
Yeah. Damn, dude, that sucks so
I
bad.
hope he doesn't. I don't want to get put on blast for saying this, but I hope he doesn't bring the old car back out after what I've heard that car entails.
Yeah.
But
I feel so bad because that's just like a
yeah, that sucks.
That's a gut punch, dude, on that car. Like, sucks, dude. Anytime anybody wrecks, it's a gut punch, no matter how bad it is.
And judging by his videos, he seems like he's a,
Really down to earth guy.
that, and he's not a big fucking race production.
Yeah.
It's just him, his camper trailer,
Yep.
and his wife, and his couple of friends, and
Yeah.
whatever he makes from his normal job, and goes out and race.
Yep.
So that fucking sucks.
So Turbo John, if you see this, hoping everything goes good
Yeah.
for you. We're gonna be waiting on the rebuild. Hope you're okay as well, because that sucks.
I'll sell you a small block Ford car.
Yeah. So a small block Ford Cougar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess not a whole lot going on in the no prep world.
No.
I mean,
Nothing for us to talk shit about.
Not a whole lot of drama right now. I mean, everyone's still talking about street cars and tube chassis cars, I guess. But
And there probably will be until someone makes some rule about it.
yeah, and then people don't agree with it, and then
Yeah.
everyone's bitching. So,
I think I'm probably about done for the year.
yeah, you got Black Friday and Cash Days at Kentucky, David.
No.
Why not,
Just my motor's tired.
David? Everybody's tired every once in a while.
I'm tired. My motor is like tired. So.
Blow it up.
See, the problem with that is if I did blow it up, I'm probably not going to race for another year. So.
So blow it up.
Why? So we can not make another racing video for another year? 'Cause yours ain't going to be none.
No shit.
Fucker.
Motherfucker. Oh man. Yeah, not a whole lot of drama. I mean, basically, I guess this is just the gist of this show.
Yeah.
Excited we got Autumn on to come hang out and talk, and really like her. Super good person. Always checks in on us, and glad we finally got to meet in person at Ford Fest too. And so,
Who's next on the list?
I don't know. So I've got fuck, my phone's over there now. It's recording you.
Yeah.
I've got I don't know. I want to get with some of the contacts that I have for outside of drag racing world. I'd really like to talk with some of the guys I know in Formula Drift. I'd like to talk to John Goodby from NorCal
Oh, that'd be cool.
rock racing.
Yeah.
Northern California rock racing. One of the guys that helps put on King of the Hammers. Helps out at Baja 1000, I believe. Big off-road guy.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool good dude. Love him to death. So I'd like to bring him on there. But bring in like some drag racers. I also really want to try and work my magic to potentially bring on a very big name in the NASCAR and drag racing or NHRA world.
Really?
Yes. I have made comments about that. Would really like for that to happen.
Just don't stay in the bathroom too long.
I know. If we did one with him, I know the jokes would be fucking flying.
We have to fill him in.
Yeah.
On that one.
Like, Tony, I got a story for it. Oh, fuck, I just said his name. Gotta bleep that
You
out.
better bleep that one.
Yeah. Like, hey, I got a story for you, I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to try and work something with that too, and we can even go to his shop because he's right over.
He is?
Yeah, they're whole operations in Indy.
I did not know that.
Yeah, well, he lives in Indy.
He does?
Yes, he's from Indy.
What?
Yes.
I thought he was from like South Carolina or some shit.
No,
Oh.
he's like lived here all of his life.
I was not aware of that
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. And Brandon, who had that small block Ford Cobra, the black one. Turbo. Muscles?
Yeah. What the fuck are we talking about?
I can't remember. His last name's like Smith. Brandon Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He works for him. Does their superchargers.
Oh, I thought he worked for Schumacher.
No, he does their supercharger stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He'd be another good one to talk to.
Oh, yeah. We talked to him when he was in the fucking...
Yeah. Yep. Also talked to I met a guy Friday night that has they used to work for John Force. Now he works for Graham Rahal. He welds. He used to build the chassis at John Force. Don't ask me his name because I probably won't remember. Robbie. His name's Robbie.
Okay.
Like to have him on too. But you know, like no prep guys too, some drag racing guys as well. But I want to get like the whole racing realm of everything. So
Be a little different.
yeah, but do something a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Not so copy and paste.
Not so copy and paste.
That didn't mean anything. I'm just
I
saying.
know. No, but I agree. I don't. I don't know how to say this without trying to piss anybody off. It's just
Yeah,
like
you're gonna do it anyway, so do it.
I want to get the entire motorsports world. I don't want to just stick to drag racing. You know, not saying that anybody is just sticking to drag racing or anybody like Cooper Bogetti or fucking SRC or anybody else that even does like a remotely podcast or live show. Not they don't stick to just drag racing, and I don't either. I want to talk to everybody. This is just like Autumn. Like, yeah, she drag races, but she's got such a bigger picture of what goes on in the whole motorsports world. So, yeah. Well, other than that, guys, I think that's going to do it for this show.
Yeah.
Really thank you guys for listening in, tuning in, hanging out with us. We had a great time with you guys, as always. We did hang, if you'd see the traffic light that's over there. Traffic light that's over there and the neon sign behind me. We're going to keep adding stuff in here and try to make it ours. There are a whole bunch of Tonka trucks in here, which I feel like those need to be left because...
This is technically not our area.
Yeah, it's technically not our area, but like I also work, I'm heavy equipment operator, so...
So we got to put some fucking 4-inch PVC in here?
Fuck yeah, buddy. Put some ductile iron, some valves.
Fucking double extra heavy 2-inch in this motherfucker.
I know for a fact in this building there's a fire hydrant somewhere
Oh, really?
on this property.
Nice.
May or may not have been stolen, but I don't know.
Cannot confirm nor deny.
And will not confirm.
Will not.
Yeah, will not.
Will not.
I plead the fifth.
Indeed.
I ain't snitching.
Depends on what's in it for me.
Yeah, depending on what's in it for me, buddy. All right, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We will see you guys in the next one. I don't know when that'll be. I don't know who we're going to have on, but I'm going to plan it and go from there.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Peace out. Make sure you guys
like and subscribe to the channel.
Hit the bell, brother.
Hit the bell, brother, to get notifications of when we post. And make sure to head on over to Instagram and follow David and I, plus our YouTube page on Instagram, as well as heading over to our TikTok and follow us there. As well as Facebook as well, and get in on over there and get on the action. They call us Big Steppers for a reason.
Don't even. I gave you that fucking idea. You homo.
Big stepping over here at the Young and Boosted World Headquarters,
Which I could say that, I guess you could say this is at now our headquarters here.
Yeah.
World Headquarters of Young and Boosted Racing, brother.
Yeah. Fucking.
Girls just want to have fun.
Oh, girls just want to have fun.
All right, fucking.
Yeah,
cut this
we're
shit.
done. We're gonna we're gonna go too far out in left field.
Yeah.
All right, love y'all. See you on the next one. Peace. David, say bye.
Later.
Good enough for me. See ya.